online, on the iOS and Android, on your mobile phones. Bengali's biggest conversation around the globe. This is Relax Radio.
Hey, beautiful people. This is your girl and your host, Kayla Rose. Welcome to another episode of Soul Seed, the show which is dedicated to taking you to new levels of you. Let me just see if I can do some moving here and bring this a little bit closer. Yeah, it's a little bit different when the camera is on landscape, right? Hopefully you guys can see everything okay, and the lighting is okay as well. So, yes, this is your girl and your host, Kayla Rose. Welcome to Soul Seed. So, you guys have seen the way that we are leveling up for 2021, and we are using StreamYard to do these Facebook Lives now. So, hopefully, you guys are enjoying that, and hopefully the sound and everything is coming out, the sound is coming out well and the lighting is looking okay. If there are any issues, please do write your comments below. So I'm just a little bit cautious here because my Relax Radio banner isn't taking up the whole of the screen. So let me see if I can do something about that. um I don't know if I can. I'll probably end up messing up. I'll probably end up messing up the live, so I don't want to do too much touching of anything. But I will try and do my best. As I said, maybe I should shuffle forward and try and move this in a little bit closer. Does that help, guys? I think that helps a little bit, right? I think that helps a tiny bit. Yeah, that seems a tiny little bit better. That's the best I can do at the moment. So I hope you guys have had a good Monday, a good start to your week. And I am here to bring you today's show. So the title of this show is, I think it's been added in to the live, is Kaylan Still In Our Hearts and On Our Minds. And you guys are probably getting a little bit familiar with who Kaylan is, Kaylan Dowdy. This is the young lady, the young woman who was brutally attacked in Jamaica, Kingston, Barbican Road on the 7th of November 2020. And it has been a story which has touched many people's hearts and has just been heartbreaking in general, but there has been some positivity coming out of that story. And I've been doing some periodic updates on her and her condition and how she's doing. So I'm going to be doing a further segment today. Before I do get into that, we have got some, announcements going on the bottom of the screen. So I'm going to read that out to you just in case you're not getting it. You guys can advertise on Relax Radio from £1 as an introductory offer. And for more info, please do call 07956911197 so you guys can get your deals in there. If you've got something that you would like to sell or a service that you're offering at the moment, please do get in touch. I think it's a really good deal, so I think you guys should go for it. And I can see I've got Tanzania who jumped on. She said, nice to see you again today. How are you? How was your weekend? My weekend was really good, actually. And obviously, I was on Facebook Live yesterday, right? Or should we call it StreamYard Live? On Facebook, right? So that was a good part of my weekend. And how are you, Tanzila? As I always like to say, it's always nice to see Tanzila on. She is such a great supporter of Relax Radio. And I think I mentioned yesterday that she does some of her own lives and her own shows as well. So guys, go and check that out if you get the chance. And yesterday, what was he speaking about? We were speaking about the COVID survey, which I did, which my friends and family kindly joined me in and participated and gave me their answers. So we was going through that yesterday, and it was called My COVID Survey on the COVID Survey on the 10, but it technically ended up being on the 11. because I had 11 people who gave me their answers. And even after the show was finished, I had a few more people saying, "Oh, can I give you my answers today? Can I give you my answers now?" But it was kind of a little bit too late. But I would have mentioned them. I would have mentioned them, but I might save that for another time because COVID is not going anywhere for now, right? So I'm sure I'm going to have more opportunities to speak about COVID. So, as I said, speaking about Kaylan today, so this young lady who is currently in hospital in the ICU unit, off the top of my head, University Hospital of the West Indies. I believe I've got that right. So she's been in there since the beginning of November. Obviously, we're mid January already, right? The new year is going so fast. Time is literally flying. So she has been in there for a couple of months, but she has been making some progress while she's been in there. And the updates at the moment is going from the doctors basically saying that she had a 1% chance of survival. Can you imagine hearing that as a parent? Literally, I can just imagine all the parents out there, just their hearts just coming out of their chest thinking, imagine if doctors told you your child had a 1% chance of survival, to the point where she is now, where she has had movement on the left side of her body. She did suffer major injuries. She suffered a spinal injury, a stab wound to the neck, a broken arm, um, serious damage to the back of the head from being hit by a Hennessy bottle. And those of you who have ever seen a Hennessy bottle or drank some Hennessy know those are pretty heavy duty bottles. So of course they're going to cause some serious damage. But going from that state and possibly being in a vegetative state for the rest of her life, to having some movement in the left side of her body. So it seems all of those prayers are really working. All the prayers are working. All that energy and support that everyone all over the world is sending her is having a positive effect. So she's not completely out of the woods yet. So needs to keep sending that beautiful positive energy to her and her mother during this time. So specifics are, so she's waving her left hand, she's moving her left foot. Her right side, I think there's slight movement, but it's not up to the same level as the left side. So as I said, sending energies that the right side of her body starts coming in and deep healing occurs, and she begins to have more movement on her right side as well. So recently, her mother, Venetia Buckley, has given us an update on Kayland, where she was making quite steady progress before, every day or every few days, there seemed to be a positive update. However, she did have a little bit of a setback last week, and she became unresponsive. I believe it was last week, Tuesday, and this was due to a seizure. But luckily, she pulled through and she came back that night. And she is still here with us, fighting and pushing through this ordeal which she's going through. So who knows whether the seizures may be something permanent. We pray that it's not. Hopefully it's something temporary. Obviously her body has been through something extremely traumatic, so there are likely to be other consequences, things that occur over the next few weeks or the next few months that may not have been completely visible in the beginning. But we're hoping and we're praying that she makes a full, speedy recovery, or heals and recovers as much as she possibly can. So she was supposedly disorientated after that episode, this seizure, and it has set her back in terms of, she has been on a ventilator since the incident occurred, this brutal beating occurred, and she wasn't breathing on her own. However, she was becoming less reliant on the ventilator. It was getting turned down slowly but surely, and she was beginning to take some of her own breaths. But because of this seizure, seems to have set her back a little bit, and now she's back to being fully dependent on the ventilator. So as I said, we're all praying, putting that energy out there, fingers crossed, toes crossed, that everything is okay and that she continues to make a speedy recovery. In regards to her mother, Venetia Buckley, she has released a song called Pain, which is dedicated to her daughter. I would suggest you guys go and check it out. So both Venetia Buckley and her daughter, Kaylan Dowdy, are very much into music and performing arts, and they're both really good, actually. So I would suggest you go and check out her mother's song. Of course, it's very touching. The song is called Pain, and it's just one of those songs, considering the situation, you can imagine how it pulls at the heartstrings. And if you go and check out her mother as an artist in general, who goes by the name of, I believe it's Status Bling, and she's still working out some of the, I believe, the copyright issues with using that name. But at the moment, I think that is the name that she is going with. She's actually quite a good dancehall artist. So I actually listened to some of her stuff, and I was actually really enjoying it. So it seems like Mummy was doing a lot on the music scene and putting out some good tunes and some good records. So as I said, I would promote going to check it out. And she also seems to do, she's also, she's a woman of many talents. Her mother is Anisha Buckley, and she also does baking as well. So she seems to be selling some cakes. So if you guys want to get some nice Jamaican cakes, go and check that out as well, and just support the cause and support the family as much as possible. They definitely need it during this time. And something else that came to light, in fact, I wanted to mention it in my last live. And although I don't want to end on or be putting out negative news out there, but this is generally just not a good story. But her mother was receiving threats, and she made that information public. So it was put out there just in case anything did happen. I know that she was taking steps to communicate with law enforcement and the police, and that they were taking steps to make sure that security was up there and that she was protected. But can you imagine during this time where she's dealing with something so severe in regards to her child, and people are making threats against her, saying that she shouldn't be speaking out? So as I said, I hope everyone is rallying around her during this time and making sure that she's protected and supported. And she's of course been putting out some of her personal information out there so people can get in contact with her about the situation, and also get in contact with her about those great cakes that she's been selling. But some people have been taking advantage of it, and she's been getting some naughty calls, some naughty messages from particular men out there, so she said. So as I said, that's not cool, especially during this situation. Some people lack boundaries, you could say. So hopefully people will use her number and her contact details appropriately. So other things that I can tell you guys about this situation in terms of updates on the females who are allegedly involved in this incident of wounding and grievous bodily harm, or wounding with intent. I believe that there's 5 ladies in particular, who were supposed to go to court to answer these charges. So basically, a preliminary hearing. And there hasn't been much more information given about what's going on with them at the moment. Of course, as I said, worldwide and particularly in Jamaica, there's been a lot of outrage. So maybe they don't feel that it's appropriate for certain information to be put out at these females at the moment. But as soon as I do hear any more information, I will definitely bring it to you guys, for those of you who are interested in keeping up to date with this particular story. And a side note as well is that one of the women who was allegedly accused, which I believe would make it the 6th lady. So supposedly she's been discharged, and it's been said that she isn't involved in the incident. She did take herself down to the police station, and although she was one of the women who was pictured as someone who was wanted, she had documentation showing that she in fact gave birth maybe 2 days before, and she also allegedly had a witness who said that on the night in question that she was feeling unwell and she went to bed early, so she wasn't there and she wasn't involved in the incident. So of course, if she's not involved, that has to be accepted. And she's been receiving some pretty intense messages as well, even though supposedly she's cleared her name. It's kind of hard for people to see or people to believe that she's not involved when her picture has been, plastered around the internet, plastered within the community. But she has to take whatever steps she needs to in order to try and clear her name. So I thought I'd just put that information out there as well. So that is my update for Kayla at the moment. As I said, still sending her prayers and still sending her lots of love and support. I know that there's a number of different media outlets or platforms doing fundraising for the family. I believe a GoFundMe and also some Facebook fundraising as well. So if you guys are in a position to support, please go and check them out and do what you can. It's just one of those things. There's so many people around the world who need support and help and are in situations at the moment which are just devastating and, as I said, heartbreaking. But we can only do what we can and try and support people in any way that we can, whether it's financially or, as I said, with prayers or with time and with energy. Just have to do what we can, especially during a time such as COVID. So hopefully people are pulling together and supporting each other. So I think I'm going to leave things there, guys. I will be back with you on Sunday for another show. In fact, I miss going into the studio. I can't wait to get back into the studio. I told you guys, once we are back in the studio, I'm going to have some really great guests coming to join me and doing some good shows and some good interviews. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. Hopefully you guys are staying safe during this time, during this lockdown period, during this COVID time, and just taking care of yourself. I'm a big promoter of self-care and self-love as much as possible. So leveling up in every single way, especially for 2021. And I would promote you guys or encourage you guys to please go download our Relax Radio app. Encourage your friends and family to do so as well, so you can keep up to date with us on the go. And please follow us on our other social media platforms, which include Facebook, right? So you are there, and YouTube and Twitter as well. And also check out our website. So we really appreciate your support. We really appreciate you listening and joining us. And also go and check out some of the other Relax Radio presenters. They do some pretty cool shows. So I'm sure you will find something interesting there. So I'm going to leave you guys to enjoy the rest of your Monday night. And this has been your girl and your host, Kayla Rose. Thank you for joining me. And this has been Soul Seed, the show which is dedicated to taking you to new levels of you. As usual, much love and stay blessed. Bye.